The biopsychology myth that I did my presentation on is the chemical imbalance theory. The chemical imbalance theory states that depression is caused by a chemical imbalance in the brain. Many ads on mainstream media relay this message, one example being Zoloft. In 2009, Zoloft released a video ad, which I have clips for on the bottom of the slide, promoting the theory that depression is caused by a chemical imbalance in the brain. Other ads in the media and on TV and on the radio, mainly promoting certain drugs, have also used this claim, such as Lexapro and Paxil. Even in recent articles, such as from Informed Health Online, too have claimed that chemical imbalances cause depression. Because of how common this theory is in popular media, it has become a layperson theory, meaning that it is regularly first attributed to depression by common everyday people. In an article written by France et al. In 2007, the history behind the theory is discussed. In the mid-20th century, discoveries such as the effectiveness of chlorpromazine on psychosis, the existence of monoamines in the central nervous system, and understanding monoamine synthesis led to the emergence of psychopharmacology. This knowledge and emergence paved the way for the first antidepressants, ipranisid and imipramine. Results for these new drugs were not hugely successful, and many sample sizes were relatively small when there were significant results. But results were still widely publicized and became popular forms of treatment regardless, due to the newness of the discovery. Reserpine also played a role in the theory, since serotonin had been found to play a role in behavior, and reserpine depleted serotonin levels and also caused neurotic effects. It was therefore believed that low serotonin levels played a role in depression and caused these neurotic effects. In research done by Lacasse et al. In 2005, they looked at past studies that try to replicate neurochemical imbalances that is supposedly found in those with depression, and attempted to find results in research of their own as well. In the original study, levels of serotonin metabolites in the cerebrospinal fluid of clinically depressed suicidal patients was compared to those of controls. Lacasse et al. Found that the study was troubled with methodological issues such as a very small sample size and uncontrolled confounding variables. In another study, researchers attempted to induce depression by depleting serotonin levels, but they found no consistent results. Finally, another study showed that even when administering high doses of L-tryptophan, which significantly increases serotonin levels in the brain, there still were no significant consistent results in relieving depression. As Lacasse et al. Stated, the fact that aspirin cures headaches does not prove that headaches are due to low levels of aspirin in the brain. One does not get a headache because their aspirin levels are low, but aspirin can still help relieve the headache, which can be an argument for why SSRIs do work for many patients. And when comparing SSRIs to non-serotonin treatments for depression, effectiveness rates are similar, which all show a lack of concrete evidence for this theory. Looking more into where this theory has stemmed from, much research is funded by big pharmaceutical companies. When research is funded by these companies, results are less likely to be published if they go against the intended results and are more likely to favor the companies when they are published, as found by Lexton et al. Unfortunately, many trials on antidepressants and SSRIs are funded by these big companies, which can lead to biased and inaccurate results. As Pidet et al. Recently stated, the language of the industry is all about selling substances. Companies want to sell, and therefore, the information provided is not objective. Rather, much information is unreliable and biased. Research done by Al-Harib in 2012 has shown that antidepressants and SSRIs are not 100% effective for everybody. Around 60 to 70% of individuals who take these medications experience relief from symptoms, which means around 30% do not. If the main cause of depression were serotonin levels or chemical imbalances, effectiveness rates would be close to 100, which they aren't. While chemical imbalances might account for symptoms of depression in some individuals, there are other factors that appear to be directly related to depression that do not involve brain chemicals. Research has shown that stressors play a large role in depression. In a study by Sigmund et al., they found that while stress does not directly cause depression, it has effects on the brain, especially through the HPA axis and hormones. Stress also appears to play a role due to neuroplasticity and reduced neurogenesis, and those predisposed to depression for other reasons, such as genetics, are more likely to be affected by those changes that stress brings to the brain. In another study done by Slavic et al., they stated that stress has been linked to causing inflammation in the brain, which has been seen through neuroimaging. While it is unclear whether or not these this inflammation has a direct effect on depression, it does seem to play a role in some brain changes and changes in brain function, which can lead to depression. Genetics also seem to play a role in depression. Sullivan et al. Found that in twin studies, heritability is between 31 to 42% and can even be higher due to the possibility of those with depression not being diagnosed. While SSRIs can have benefits for many patients, Al-Harbi found that around 50 to 66% of individuals do not fully recover from their symptoms with antidepressants alone. Psychotherapy and exercise have also been linked to improvement. In a study by Lemens et al. In 2015, they looked at interpersonal psychotherapy and cognitive therapy and suggested that while there were no differences between the two, both appeared to be equally effective in reducing depressive symptoms and showed a sustained improvement around 5 months. 67% responded to therapy, and overall improvement was around 50%, which is slightly less effective than antidepressants. In a study looking at exercise by Kaplan et al., those with mild to moderate depression showed comparable improvement to those using antidepressants or in psychotherapy, while those with severe depression still showed benefits as a complementary method along with using drugs and therapy. Besides lowering symptoms of depression, it was also suggested that exercise improves physical health, body image, coping strategies, quality of life, and independence for older adults, which all can lead to improvement in depression. So overall, it has been shown that the chemical imbalance theory is a layperson theory common in the media. It was developed by early research that continued to be publicized due to its moderate effectiveness. Although antidepressants are effective for some, if depression was caused by a chemical imbalance only, it would be 100% effective for all, which it is not. Research has also shown that stress and genetics also play a role in depression, and other forms of treatment show similar effective rates when compared to antidepressants, debunking the theory. And these are my references. Thank you so much.